Am I really that much? And breaking these niggas down like a camel. You don't really to throw you up. So I had to answer that call. So so my Sbali always told me that Tendo, your pastor girl, your pastor is dating that kid. And I was so in denial. Because even when I'm at church, I don't see signs of that they are dating. I'm like, I will always look, I'm like, hi, that one, he wants me to leave this church and I won't. I was already invested in that church. Anyone who would speak bad about my pastors, yay, the anger, I would hate you for them. I would hate you on their behalf. Okay, so yeah. So after that service of the leaves, eating the leaves, there was this other day he bought a cake. He bought cakes, a lot of cakes from Woolworth, and was like, yeah, now that your lives are no longer sour, you have to eat something sweet to manifest a sweet life. And we were like, amen, amen. Who wants a sour life, guys? Who wants a sour life? And we were like, amen, amen. Then he cut those cakes into pieces, small pieces like this. We were given small pieces like this. He was like, eat this cake, pray for sweetness in your life. Who doesn't want a sweet life, girl? But that cake thing, it didn't give me an ick. No, I just felt like he wants to make up for making us eat leaves, you see. So yeah, man. And even when it comes to the pastor praying for us, like people would fall and demons would manifest, but when it came to me, I wouldn't fall. But there was this other day that I fell because he pushed me. Like he literally pushed me. Whenever it was time for him to pray for me, he would just push me. Like he would put pressure for me to fall. And I wouldn't even mind. I'm like, he's fighting the demon. He's not pushing me, he's fighting the demon. Yeah, guys. Yeah. So there was this other time where the pastor was doing a service. Then he was like, each and every one of us should get an envelope, and we must bring back the envelope with money as a sacrifice to God, and wara. And it was like, you can don't wait for the next service. Even if you're close by, when you want to bring that envelope, you can bring it anytime. So there was this other day, the pastor, my prophet's mom, called, and she's like, Tenju, can you please come and help me do some spring cleaning in the house? I'm like, oh yeah, why not? Because I love you. Anything for you. Why not? Anything for you. And I went there. When I arrived, we started cleaning and all that. And then there was this other lady who came in with her envelope, and she was like, I won't be around for the service, so I just want to drop my envelope. Then the lady was like, oh, okay, I no stress. Now I believed that if you are giving in a church, the pastor has to pray for that money that you are giving, so that God can bless you for giving in the church. You see, so she was like, oh, okay, you can give it to me. The pastor is not around. I will give him when he comes back. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. She was like, oh, yeah, okay. Here is the envelope. Bye. 2 minutes after that lady left, I saw the prophet was not around, but I saw the prophet's mom opening the envelope and taking the money and send the kid to buy some veggies by the corner. And I was like, what? The pastor hasn't prayed for this money. The pastor hasn't prayed for this money, and when you are already using the money, I was like, no, man, this lady is not, she's not doing the right things. This money has to go to the pastor first so we can pray. Then they can use it. Why? And that lady, she was struggling so much. Even in church, everyone knew that when it comes to her, she's struggling to survive, So that broke my heart. It really broke my heart. And I was like, Why is this lady acting like she's not the pastor's mom? Why is she acting like she's like a pastor's relative or something? She should be supporting her son in this journey. And there's this other day that I was speaking with, there was a time that my prophet fought with his spiritual father. I don't know why they fought. He just announced that he is no longer under his spiritual father. And then I met this other lady who attends church in the spiritual father's church, and she was like, continue supporting your prophet. I feel like he doesn't have a support system because, like, he doesn't have a support system because his mother is not into church things. She's not a spiritual person. The way she lives, she's not a spiritual person. And I could see that what she's saying is the truth, because there's this other day there was a newborn baby in the church, and I get us as black people, there is this thing where a newborn baby comes out. She comes out. The baby will come out things here at the back, like red things. In our language, we call it gokonya, and that baby should go see someone to help her with that. If the baby doesn't get help with that thing, the baby can die. So the pastor was like, oh, the mother of the baby came with the newborn, and she was like, my daughter has these things, and I don't want to go around looking for someone to help her. I'm believing in God that God will save my child. And then the pastor was like, yeah, there's no need for you to go around going to these people who are so-called who call themselves that they help children with such things. When I bring the child here in front so I can pray for the child. And then the lady went in front there to the pastor. She walked up to the pastor and gave the pastor the baby. The prophet prayed for the baby, and then after church, I overheard the mother of the prophet saying that if the baby doesn't heal from this, bring her when there is no one, so that I can help her traditionally. And then, what if Vele she doesn't get? What if Vele she helps the baby traditionally? Is the lady going to come to the church and say the pastor's prayers helped the child, whereas they know that they helped the child traditionally? I'm like, no, man. No. So the bad treatment from the pastor's mom continued, and I felt, no, man, I no longer want this. I no longer want to be in this church. So I left. And when I left, she called me pretending to be like someone else, insulting me in the phone. And I could hear that it's a voice. I went straight to their house and I told her off. Mama, not with me. Not with me. And that's how I left the church and started realizing, no, man, I was actually in a cult, because the things that were being done in that church, they're scary. Anyways, guys, that's all. If I remember something, I will just say it in my upcoming vlogs. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this story time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share, guys, and share. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Why? Because you're here to stay. There is no way I'm staying here alone. I'm in this with you guys. And thank you so much to all my subscribers, everyone who supports me, who watch everything that I post on this channel. Thank you so much. And guys, I forgot to mention that when I left the church, I was not fighting with the pastor. It's just that there was a time where I started hearing things from the boys that were under the prophet, and that's when I thought, no, man, I have to leave this church. How can the prophet do this to these boys? And it was nothing sexual, or it was just a mistreatment, treating them as if like they are nothing, saying things in front of the church, promising them things in front of the church, and when they are together, he would laugh at them. You see, there was a time where he took this boy and he was like, come, stand here. This boy is going to be is gonna be a prophet in this church. I'm taking him as my spiritual son, and I have 50,000 saved somewhere that I want to give him. And after the service, the boy was like, oh, I heard you mentioning that you're gonna give me the 50K, and the boy said he just laughed at him. He was like, "Ha, you crazy? You think I'd give you 50K?" So when I started hearing stories like that, and that he was dating young girls in that church, hey, I got so scared. Is all of this happening right under my nose, thinking that I'm praising God in this place? Country, people are being fooled by this man. I was like, no, man, I no longer want this. And plus, the treatment that as ushers we were getting in that from the mother, I felt, no, I can't continue with this. But I had already introduced, at that time, I had already introduced my family to that church. They were now attending that church. I left the church and left them there. Believe or not, they left the church one by one. Because when I tried explaining to them, no, man, I'm no longer going to this place. There's this and this going on. They didn't believe me and continued going there. My mother even stopped, and even my sisters. My sisters stopped with me because they went there because of me. And when I left, they felt, if Tendo is leaving, we are leaving. But my mother continued, but she reached a point where she stopped also, and then my brother left. My brother was still in the church. And then when he was still in the church, he made my brother his spiritual son. He was making a mockery of him also. He made my brother his spiritual son. And then there was even a time, I feel that pastor, he's very sweet and nice. It's just that the powers that he was using, he got them from a wrong place, and the fame was driving him crazy. But deep down, he has a nice heart. He had a nice heart because he passed on. He's no longer with us. I heard he was involved in a car accident. I think it was 4 years back. I think, 4 or 5 years back. Yeah, he got involved in a car accident, and that literally hurt my brother. My brother was so hurt. But as time goes on, he did realize, no, man, I was also serving in a cult, because there was a time where he would confess, but he would confess in parables. Have you seen those people trying to say something, but they're not saying it straight? Because he mentioned that this other time he was driving with him, and then he was like, oh, I was part of something, but I managed to escape through a hole, like a needle hole. You see the needle, the one that we use to fix our clothes with, that hole where you have to insert that thing. I don't know what it's called in English, but before you could fix your clothes with the needle, there's that process of putting in that I don't know what it's called in English, Mara, that smaller than a hole in a needle. He was explaining how he left a place like that. He said like leaving that place was like wanting to leave through that needle hole. So you could see, no, man, Mogai had joined things. There are things that he was serving. He was serving under things. The powers that he was using in church, he got them from somewhere else, because he mentioned to my brother that I just left some things that there was no turning back, but I managed. After he said that, within 2 months, that's when he got into an accident and died. But anyway, all the best to those who are still following prophetic churches. All the best. I wish God could open your eyes so that you can see what you are not seeing. Because there's always something with these prophetic people, these people who call themselves prophets. There's always something with them. So I pray for those who are still in cults, for God to open their eyes so that they can see, or they are worshipping him at the wrong place. Bye, guys.